Thanks, Melissa. Some music fans say they are still waiting for one staple of the season, a song of the summer.
Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, is it that sweet? I guess so. Say you can't sleep.
And that'll be in your head forever now. The song of the summer is a designation given to the biggest song of the season. It usually comes out in the spring and stays dominant on the pop charts right through September. Last year's frontrunner was Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso.
Watch me dance, dance the night away.
The year before that, Dua Lipa's Dance the Night Away, maybe the most memorable song from the summer of the blockbuster Barbie movie.
Oh, in this world, it's just...
And in 2022, it was Harry Styles dominating the summer charts with As It Was. But this year doesn't really seem to have someone who is clearly leading the way yet. Here to tell us about some of this year's contenders is Eric Alper. He is a music expert and publicist, and we have some debate going on, Eric, between a lot of us, which we will get to. You know, there's a lot of different songs that could potentially be on the front-running spot, but I want to talk a little bit about how did this all start, because we were trying to decide, how did the Song of Summer become? What's the origin behind it?
Yeah, you know, what's interesting about it is that it's just an unofficial list that people used to argue about, especially on radio stations around the world. But then Billboard magazine, that charts the best and the biggest songs in America, created a actual Songs of the Summer chart a number of years ago. So that's usually the most popular songs from last week up until the week before Labor Day, and as you mentioned, those songs hit #1 on the chart to be the song of the summer. So, but it's interesting because this year it's completely dominated by songs on TikTok and on social media, which has a little bit of lesser, longer power at #1, but certainly all these songs that we're going to mention are deemed to be future classics.
Yeah, so we need to bring you in now because you've got a list of what you think might be some contenders, and what do you think that first one is?
Yeah, I think the first one is going to be Ordinary by Alex Warren.
I'm jealous knowing we found something so wild. We'll be ordinary. You got me kissing the ground. We'll be sanctuary.
All right, what are the thoughts behind this one? What do you think? What are the reasons?
What's interesting about Alex is that he's a singer-songwriter, he's a YouTuber and an influencer, and he was part of the TikTok collaboration group called the Hype House a number of years ago. Ordinary topped the Billboard Hot 100 and the album chart, and it hit #1 in 17 countries. So right now, this is the #1 song on the Billboard Song of the Summer chart, which means that it's going to be an early pick to stay there for the rest of the summer.
Well, it could be a good one. We're going to switch up the vibe a little bit. What do you got for #2?
Yeah, you know, whenever Bad Bunny releases a song, it will be a contender, and this one certainly is no different.
Como Bad Bunny va a ser rey del pop, ey, con reggaeton y dembow, ey, con reggaeton y dembow, sí, con reggaeton y dembow, como Bad Bunny va a ser.
I mean, if the mood is good, I feel like this one could make some moves.
Yeah, this one, you know, you couldn't write this song unless it was like 19 people all figuring out how to make a hit song. It mentions July 4th, New York, the Yankees, the Mets, Puerto Rico, and James Bond. So you're going to find fans all over the place. It's already hit #1 on the Billboard Hot Latin Song chart, and right now it's top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. Just 1 billion streams in less than 6 months. It has to be a contender whenever Bad Bunny releases something.
Yeah, I mean, in the list of what you just knocked off there, I mean, you can't negate that. Those are definitely items that could potentially move it up the summer list. #3.
#3 is Benson Boone, Mystical Magical.
Ice cream, taking off your blue jeans, dancing in the movies, 'cause it feels so mystical, magical, baby, 'cause
I mean, he does seem to be taking over in a lot of ways. Reasons behind this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Just look at how many people are there. If every one of those people buys a copy of the record, it's going to be #1. Benson Boone, all you need to know if you don't know him is that he wears jumpsuits and he flips off pianos. This song actually interpolates Physical by Olivia Newton-John, that hit song back in 1981. So it's going to have that old school mentality for the older generation to get into the song. And of course, Benson Boone is one of the single solo biggest artists in the world right now. So it was just released in April of this year, which means that it's perfect timing to climb up those charts.
Before we move on to the next one, do you think that those acts flipping, jumping on the piano adds to the summer of the song just because of the vibe, because people connect with the artist? So do you think his display of entertainment can add value to maybe creeping up to the #1 spot?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when we think of the greatest kind of rock stars, we think of something like Mick Jagger dancing or Tina Turner dancing. This is just his thing, and everybody needs a thing. If you look, you need two things in rock and roll. You need great hair and you need an angle, and Benson Boone absolutely has that.
Yeah, he checks so many of those boxes. We're going to move away from Boone for now, because he obviously is a hot topic, for your #4 potential pick.
Charlie XCX, Party For You, a song that came out years ago, but is now climbing the charts again.
I only do this party for you. Only do this party for you, for you, for you. I was hoping you would come through. I was hoping you would come through. It's true.
And a very different feel for this one.
Yeah, when people talk about the massive influence of social media, especially TikTok, we've seen certainly Dreams by Fleetwood Mac and other old songs coming back to the forefront to the new generation. Party For You is that song. It came out 5 years ago on her album called How I'm Feeling Now, but it went viral on TikTok earlier this year, and the record label officially released it as a single to radio in May. So this is one of those songs that a lot of her fans are already going to know, but the rest of the planet doesn't, which means that it's going to be perfect, perhaps, for the song of the summer.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned that it doesn't need to be new. It can make a comeback, or maybe it just didn't hit off at the right time, and this year could be the year. But you do have one more for us.
One more, and this is the Canadian content portion of the segment. It's Tate McRae and Morgan Wallen's What I Want.
She said, you don't want this heart, boy, it's already broke. Told me everything she touched just goes up in smoke. On the stage.
Someone who we're about to speak with is going to be really happy that this is in your #5 spot. And I mean, I feel like when you put those two artists together, the sound, the summer vibe, do you think this is maybe moving up the charts a little bit and could take that spot?
Absolutely. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 back in May, and the song also became Tate McRae's first #1 chart topper on the Billboard Hot 100. Morgan Wallen is one of those massive artists that no matter what life throws his way, he keeps crawling out of any kind of bad stuff that maybe, some people don't like about him. But the fact is, though, that right now he's the biggest selling artist in America, and that counts for a lot when it comes to new songs.
It really does, and we love the Canadian Tate McRae being in the mix there. So much to choose from. Who is going to take that spot? We don't know, but we now have some advice from Eric Alper. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Great. Thank you so much for having me, man. We'll talk soon.
Of course. So a different vibe of songs over the last 5, but we're going to kind of revert back to some of our songs. And Rosie, we're going to start with what you believe could be the song of summer.
803 Fresh, Boots on the Ground. I'll tell you, look it up. Look it up. You may not know it, but for those who know, they know. You go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, and then you learn the line dance, and then you're good for the summer.
And it kind of gave me a Shabuzi vibe.
Bit, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's where I kind of
country, trap, pop.
Yeah.
There you go.
And they have that little dance
line
with
dance
it.
happening.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Cliche, MGK, just because it has that pop vibe. There's also a dance to it. It's really summery. It's starting to take off a little bit on TikTok, and if it takes off on TikTok,
then you know.
Usually things start to work.
And artists know what's up. They know that they need a viral dance. They need some sort of hook, so people start stitching it on TikTok, and then it just goes completely viral.
Yeah.
They're smart. Mine was actually one that Eric Alper chose. It's What I Want by Tate McRae and Morgan Wallen. Obsessed with that. I love country music, so as soon as I saw these two collabing, I knew I was going to love it, and I absolutely do. So that's my song.
There you go.
I like my choice, but I don't know. If I were to put money on it, I think you might have the contender.
Tate and Morgan. We'll have to wait and find out, I guess,
There
in
you
the fall.
go.